Abusuamu bi akwaba edeba PAA KWESI TV so. Kwesi Pratt Jr. I reacted to the ongoing feud between Kenya Japan and Abronye and NPP. Thank you to Bruhaha Nina. Kwesi Pratt reacted to it. Na ye nyina nim se Baumiani NPP. Thank you to Omokon. Omudru Bono region. Kennedy Ohine Japan and Abronye at the Burni. Ekade anga ntokwabai. 2. Fast forward on ba Kumaseno. Kenya Japan a supporter ba ko UST. Ene ba umia supporters enya antokwa ema ba umia supporters the second awo Kenya Japan supporter no UST student na say oda konfa no chisi a. Sansem ni see en Kenya Japan I withdraw free the NPP thank you to him. NPP chairman Stephen Intim nso I withdraw every ba umia thank you to him, which means ba umia hwa ade e kwa nanim guase e ba because thank you to na oye no is not thanking you. Like enya papa say enti Baumia any MPP for actually that Baumia they are two or say thank you to we're putting on hold because on HCO or chira MPP for by save the judiciary demonstration enti omu putting on hold no matter support your friend saying it's a demonstration which I name so moboa enya no correct because when say nim guase ya bente o so pe baby no ye dey offer na no na Kwesi Pratt Jr. Achire mu die enti a Kennedy Japan and Abronye ntokwa no ekoso ewo NPP mo and who is behind Abronye mumye nkoti ensima Kwesi Pratt Jr. and to Jamin say obi am mumye nkoti
argues that all of this thank you to was totally unnecessary, ill-timed and all. This is Mr. Kodumpieni. You understand? Clear. Then there's Boachie Ajaku, who is saying that this thank you tour really has veered off the original objective. And for him, the original objective was to reset and energize the party base. And he says that they should stop it, come back and rethink and replan. You understand? That's Mr. Boachie Ajaku. And there have been so many other comments. Now there's something very, very significant. This tour was designed to give the impression of unity. And that is why they brought Dr. Baumia to lead it and to be flanked by all others who contested him for the presidential candidature of the party. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, Kennedy Akompreku Japan has decided to completely withdraw from this program. That's a huge dent. You understand? He's decided to withdraw completely from this program. Is it not necessary for him to withdraw from the thank you tour so he can participate in the demonstration?
Energy levels.
Oh, so it's about energy levels. Is that what you're saying? Energy levels. Is that the reason?
Which is nice.
Okay. Nanabi, the loudest advocate for the demonstration is still on the thank you tour. He hasn't withdrawn. Something must be amiss. You understand? Something must be amiss. Now, for me, within the party, and I'm not the one raising this, many issues were raised about this thank you tour, even before it took off. And one of the issues which was raised was actually raised by party workers, people who work in the party headquarters. And these people, if you follow them on social media, what are they saying? They're saying that, look, we have been working for 3 long months without pay. Nobody cares about how we are able to pay for transportation to go to work and go back home. Nobody cares about what we are eating and so on. And yet, you, the leaders, have found resources to go on a useless thank you tour. This is from the party itself, from the workers of the party. I'm not the one saying it. Now, does that make sense? Yes. The people who work for the party workers, are saying that, look, you're going to burn resources on this thank you tour, when for 3 months we haven't been paid, and nobody cares about our welfare. That's interesting. And this is coming from the inside the party. The workers of the party are those who are speaking like this. But you see, one of the important things about this thank you tour was raised by Mr. Boakye Ejaku. And Mr. Boakye Ejaku's concern, and it's been his concern for a long time, is that there appears to be a departure from the core principles of the party. And that it is important for this party to reset, to revisit the very core principles of the party. Now, I'm not surprised that some things are happening in this party, because those who today are parading themselves as leaders and heavyweights in the party don't even know the history of the party. They don't know how this party came into being. You understand? Some of them are people who have jumped onto the bandwagon because the party platform provides them an opportunity for becoming big men and rich men. You understand? And in jumping on the bandwagon, they are not even worried about the party's history. They don't want to know the party's history. They don't want to know. I mean, it has become a center for opportunistic pursuits. I mean, they didn't have anything beyond a commitment to challenge the existing order and to build the basis for the emergence of a political party. You know, many of those who became leaders and so on were not involved at all in this exercise. And to be honest with you, the only person who played a role, background role, who assisted and so on, was Mr. Richard Anani.
Yeah, Dr. Richard Anani.
Dr. Richard Anani. Dr. Richard Anani was the only person, and this is the history. You understand? Of course, we also were directly involved in the establishment of what became known as the Kwame Nkrumah Welfare Society, which became the nucleus, like the Dankwa Buzia Club, became the nucleus for the emergence of an Nkrumahist party. That was the Kwame Nkrumah Welfare Society, which was spearheaded by someone like Mr. Kodobotio and so on. Now, it should interest you that we were also at the same time involved in what became known as the Our Heritage Club, which eventually manifested in the People's Heritage Party. Now, I'm saying all this because today when I talk about the role that I played in the emergence of the new patriotic party, people say, but what was Alan Nkrumah doing there? You understand? It was a strategy to begin to build political parties, to encourage different political orientations to come together to form the nucleus of political parties for a future political contest. And that's why we did what we had to do. Now, we always organize thank you tours after elections. That is a lie. It is not true. Yes, some activity called thank you tours have been organized, but they are substantially different from this thank you tour which is being organized. Because in the past, it was the campaign team of the presidential candidate which organized thank you tours. Nana lost elections twice. He still went on the thank you tour, organized by his campaign team and not the party leadership. That's the difference. This campaign tour which is being organized is being organized not by the campaign team of Dr. Bawumia, but by the party. Okay? And that is the difference. Now, it is important to notice or to recognize, see, that the leader of the New Patriotic Party as of today is not Dr. Bawumia. The leader of the New Patriotic Party is Mr. Stephen Ntim, the national chairman. Okay? So if they organize a program and they say that it is being led by Dr. Bawumia, how is it being led by Dr. Bawumia? They are saying that he is the one who has to go out and thank people because he is the one who lost the elections. He led them to lose the elections. Wow. So they're actually going out there to thank people for voting against them. They're actually going, they're telling us that they're actually going out there to thank people for giving them the worst performance in the history of the New Patriotic Party. I don't understand. You know, I said, no. We are not thanking all Ghanaians.
No, people within the NPP.
We are thanking only those within the New Patriotic Party who voted for us. So what are you doing to the vast majority of people who voted against you? Because your performance was horrible. Vast majority voted against you. Now, if you are going on a tour to focus attention on that small group of people who gave you only 88 seats in parliament, what kind of political strategy is that? Is that the way of re-energizing to win the next elections? You are focusing on the people who gave you 88 seats out of 276, I suppose?
Yes.
And that's a strategy, sensible strategy for winning the next elections? I can't believe it. But that's the message they're putting out. Now, you see, one of the disasters which is clear from this thank you tour is simply this. They set up a Mike Okwei committee to find out why they lost the elections and to make recommendations for reorganization, for re-strategizing, for whatever, to position them to win the next elections. That's what they're telling us. Now, interestingly, after Michael Kwei's committee has finished its work, the party, the New Patriotic Party, has told us that all the work they did is in only one copy of a report, and that there's only one copy, single one copy of the report, and that nobody else, they are hiding what they claim to be the coalition of views from party members. The party members who express those views in the report are not entitled to see their own views. I can't understand it.
OPK has complained bitterly about it.
I can't understand. You say these are the views of the party people, and yet the party people who express those views cannot see their own views. I cannot understand it, but they understand it. Okay, no problem. They understand it. But see, somehow, some people, maybe mischievous people, maybe clever people, maybe some people who have access to the report somehow, because somebody typed the report.
This is AI.
Yeah,
somebody bound the report into a book and so on. So maybe there are some people who have some of the reports. So we are reading on social media and the newspapers what is alleged to be in the report. So there's a famous page 116. So once in a while you go on social media and say, this is what page 116 of the report says, and then they put it there, bam, and then we read it. And then we are wondering, could this be true or not true? And then somebody else can say, this is page 12 of the report, and then they put it there, bam. And then you read it, and you're not sure. My brother, the thank you tour has come to confirm everything which has been put out. The thank you tour. Because what they are saying on the thank you tour is the same as those snipers which have been put on social media and the newspapers. The same. No change.
The Ejapa book was like that. So maybe there's a...
So this thank you to has actually come to confirm that what they are denying as contents of the report are true. I watched the vice president, I think it was when he went to the Brown region, you know. And Senna, I was shocked. I was surprised. He said so many things about why they lost the elections. But the classic one, oh, Jesus Christ. This is the vice president. He says, he cannot imagine what was wrong with his own government. A government in which he was the number 2 person. He says, what? I can't imagine what was wrong with this government that I was vice president of. That 3 days to an election, they increased the price of petroleum products. And he's saying that when he heard it, he was so surprised, he was convinced, but he was convinced that it was not true. When the vice president heard that petroleum prices had been increased, he thought it was a lie. It wasn't true. How can it be true? Somebody is playing a trick on us. And then later, he found out that true, they had increased the price of petroleum products 3 days to an election. Wow, what a vice president. So maybe I heard about the increase before him. So now, I heard about the increase before the vice. It's possible. He probably was on his campaign tour and he asked the driver to open the radio small. And then they opened the radio and then he heard about the increase in petroleum price. He said, who has done this? Now, interestingly, this was the head of the economic management team. So, what kind of vice president was this? So, who was making the decisions? The Minister of Finance, the President, the Chief of Staff? And they didn't even bother to let him know. He was on the campaign trail when, by accident. You understand? They are telling us. And then, look, those who are attacking Kennedy are compreku. I think they get it wrong. And I mean it, they get it wrong. What has he done which other people in the party have not done? Tell me what Akompreku has done in this party which other people have not done. Why? What language has he used which has not been used before in this party? Tell me. Why single him out? That is what everybody is doing. And he feels bitter. And I heard him on one of the thank you tours talking about how much he put into the campaign. If it's a lie, come and say that he's lying. And that you put more than him. You understand what I'm saying?
When you say it's lying.
Oh, but he should come and show us, how it's a lie and how much he put in and so on. Yeah, but he says that, look, that there are some people in the party who think that they are courageous, they are bold, they can speak their mind. Poor people like that. And that even they, the rich people, they say they can't talk. And here for who say wow, interesting. Very interesting. I thought that the New Patriotic Party was a party which wanted to give the opportunity to all Ghanaians, irrespective of their social standing, their economic standing and so on, to advance and to express themselves. It believed in the rule of law and so on. Now it's becoming clear that if you are not a Singapore, nobody should stop them. Let them go and do the demonstration. At the end of this demonstration, they will see their smoothness level. You understand? They want to mobilize. Mobilize to show that the public is with them and so let them do it and succeed. A party party which has not been able to pay its workers for 3 months. A party in which the leaders are at each other's throats. A party which is being divided between the rich and the poor, and so on. Is this the party to organize any meaningful demonstration? To show strength? What strength? Have you passed the party headquarters recently? Completely abandoned. It's a ghost town. You understand? Ghost town. So they want to organize a demonstration. Oh, very good. Go ahead and organize a demonstration. Go ahead. Do your placards and so on. Organize a demonstration. The right to organize demonstrations in Ghana is unfettered in the 1992 Constitution. There are no constraints. So let them organize their demonstration. Encourage them to organize the demonstration. But I think it's important also to let the organizers know and understand that if the numbers don't turn up, they will not be allowed to use any reckless actions in order to attract attention. Because usually when numbers don't turn up, organizers then decide to cause confusion, in order to attract attention. So everybody must abide by the law. The police must abide by the law. The organizer of the demonstration must abide by the law. The courts must abide by the law. Everybody must abide by the law. That's basic. So if they come and tell you to go and organize a demonstration, and they tell you to go and do something unlawful on the demonstration, bear in mind that when you are arrested, you will be arrested alone. You face the consequences alone by yourself. So you want to demonstrate in support of the Chief Justice, and I don't know why anybody should demonstrate in the support of the Chief Justice.
Judicial independence.
My brother, I didn't expect this from somebody like you. And you know what I mean. What is this judicial independence? Are you saying that because of this nebulous concept of judicial independence, if you become a Chief Justice, you can do anything you like?
No.
You can't.
No.
The Constitution says that yes, you can become a Chief Justice. You have security of tenure and everything. But it doesn't mean that as Chief Justice you can commit murder. And when you commit murder, nothing will happen to you.
She hasn't.
It says that as Chief Justice, if you break the law, this is the procedure to follow to deal with you. That's the Constitution. I mean, this is the first time in my recent life that I'm hearing of a political party planning to organize a demonstration to tell the president not to follow the provisions of the Constitution. Unbelievable. But you see, it's allowed. If you wake up today and you see the image of President John Dramani Mahama on your television set, discretionary power shall be deemed to imply a duty to be fair and candid. Take note of that. A duty to be fair and candid. The exercise of the discretionary power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, or biased, either by resentment, prejudice, or personal dislike, and shall be in accordance with due process of law. And C, where the person or authority is not a judge or other judicial officer, there shall be published by constitutional instrument or statutory instrument regulations that are not inconsistent with the provisions of this Constitution or that other law to govern the exercise of the discretionary power. This is what they are dwelling on.
296C.
But listen.
The regulations that are not inconsistent.
Yeah.
With the provisions of the Constitution.
But listen. It is clear that even 296C makes exceptions. It doesn't say that any time there's going to be the use of discretionary power, there has to be a legislative instrument. Because it says where the person exercising the authority is not a judge or other judicial officer, there shall be published by constitutional instrument. So it makes exceptions, okay? But that is not all. What is this article in the Constitution, the whole article, seeking to achieve? It is seeking to avoid a case where the discretionary power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, or biased, either by resentment, prejudice, or personal dislike. These are the operative words. Now, if you look at 146, what does it do? 146 says that somebody must present a petition to the president.
It's procedure.
That petition is taken to a council, the Council of State. How can personal hatred and dislike be exhibited in this process? Show me. So the Council of State then determines that a prima facie case has been established. Where is the capriciousness in this? And then on the basis of that, the president is advised to establish the 5-member committee. Not the president himself, 5-member committee to go into the matter. And he says that 2 members of the 5-member committee shall be judges. And 3 members shall be chosen from the general. So how does 296 apply? Because Article 146 itself ensures that the exercise of that discretionary power is not arbitrary, it's not capricious, it's not based on one person's hatred for another. And mind you, what are we talking about when we are talking about the Council of State? You are talking about a body composed of representatives of all the 16 regions. You are talking about a body today which includes a former Chief Justice. A former Chief Justice is sitting on the Council of State. We are talking about a body on which sits senior advocates of the bar. Look, everybody must abide by the provisions of Article 146. They didn't mention 296. The first statement says we should all abide by the provisions of Article 146, all of us, and so on. And that we should allow the law to work. We shouldn't depart from the law. Follow the law strictly, and so on. Wow. Ghana Bar Association, maybe there's some merit. A couple of days later, the public relations officer of the Ghana Bar Association then comes out and says, the Bar Association is surprised that lawyers are commenting on the case before a judge for determination, and that it is prejudicial. This is the Ghana Bar Association. Okay? Then they come back and say, now everybody should get a copy of the petition and the Chief Justice's response. And that even the decision and the processes leading to the decision of the Council of State should also be published, so that there's a public debate. Where is the consistency? What? Ghana Bar Association. What is this? Where is the consistency? And then they come up again and issue another statement and say they are waiting for the president. If he doesn't do what they want, they are going to go to court. Go to court for what? They're going to go to court. You understand? And I don't know. These people, the New Patriotic Party, the Ghana Bar Association and so on, they are destroying the Chief Justice on suspension. They are destroying her reputation completely. You understand? Now the public perception is that, hey, so this Chief Justice all the time was like that. You know what I mean? Was like that. Why are you worrying this poor woman? All her lawyers are NPP stalwarts. Everything about her defense is NPP as well. What message are you sending? What signal are you sending? In any case, where we are now, there is nothing which makes it clear that this 5-member committee will find anything against her. It is possible that she may be cleared. It is possible that at the end of the day she'll be impeached. I don't know how it's going to go. You understand? But what these chaps are doing is to create the impression Lante, she was not a woman, she was a man. What is this? My brothers, don't waste time. Mobilize and go on your demonstration.